Here's question number 4. How does the glider pilot control the speed of the glider? We're tackling tough questions. So watch carefully the nose up, nose down attitude of the glider and listen to the wind noise and see if you can figure out what the answer is.
Okay, straighten out, lined up with the cloud streak. And go fast because we're in sync. And slow because we're in lift. And start a turn.
So the answer is, the pilot pitches the nose of the glider down slightly to increase speed and pitches the nose of the glider up slightly to decrease speed. It's the same thing you would do on skis or a snowboard. If you want your snowboard to go fast, you aim it directly down the hill at a steep angle, and if you want to go slow, you go across the hill at a very shallow angle. And the pilot controls the pitch by using the stick, which is the primary flight control in the glider.
So this is stick, and if I push it forward, the nose goes down, and backwards, the nose goes up.
You can see in this video here how the pilot in the front seat is keeping the pitch angle of the nose on the horizon quite constant, so that the speed of the glider remains quite constant. This is on a day when there's very little lift, very little rising air, and very little sinking air, so there's no good reason to be changing the speed of the glider to be fast or slow. She's a very experienced pilot, so she doesn't have to use a large fraction of her concentration to keep that pitch angle constant. She can handle other tasks related to flying at the same time. There's an identical stick in the back seat of the glider too, and this is what it looks like. This is what its motion is like when the pilot in the front seat is flying and manipulating his stick. Most of the time the instructor in the back seat will keep his right hand on the stick, and instead of watching it, he's looking outside the canopy to see what's going on in the world. You can see that with the pilot in the front seat flying, there's very little forward and backward movement of the stick, which is controlling the airspeed. You see some left and right movements of the stick, but that relates to turning the glider, which we haven't talked about yet. Because the stick in the back seat and the stick in the front seat do the same thing, that means control of the aircraft can be passed back and forth between the pilot in the front and the pilot in the back as fast as the voice and the mind work. This feature is very important in a student getting instruction from an instructor, and it means that this kind of instruction is not at all like when you learn to drive in your uncle's car and almost gave him a heart attack.
Okay, I'm going to fly. I'm going to put you in a situation which will need recovery, and you've recovered. Excellent. Well done.
All right. You have fun yet?
Yeah. What are we having? Well, let's check and see if this lift is real or if it's just a stick thermal. Excellent.
Let's watch that clip again. Watch the airspeed indicator at the bottom right. You'll see that as the nose dips down, the airspeed picks up to about 65 knots, and then when the nose comes up to the horizon again, it drops back to about 40 knots. So that's the answer to the question that we started with. If the glider pilot wants the glider to go faster, he points the nose down by using the stick. If he wants it to go slower, he raises the nose by using a backward motion of the stick.
Excellent. Well done. Excellent.